Ready to throw your vanilla riding hat into the breeding ring for those Imperial steeds? Welcome back to the one channel that refuses to doom and gloom over some digital horses. My name is Teddy, and with the increase of popularity of horse training, everyone's been posting guides on how to make the most money on those Imperial deliveries. But for those who are wanting to try for their Lumalamp at the sacrifice for the quick cash, breeding is the next step. So if you didn't guess by the title or the thumbnail, today is all about horse breeding. This is not going to focus on the min-maxing pay-to-win aspects of horse breeding like spending the pearls on refreshing breeding attempts or the stable slots, just the basics of what's needed and some breeding advice for those newer players just getting into training or for those who are wanting to learn just a little bit more before trying out their luck. Be sure to leave a like if you find this helpful, and without any more waiting, let's just get into the basics of horse breeding in Black Desert Online. The new horse training update was huge for horse breeding with the newly added females of all tiers that have the 4-way breeding, the ability to find level 1 to 20 horses out in the wild, and a chance for a horse to be a Corsair on registration. This lets us find a level 20 T6 or T8 Corsair if your RNG is really good, making all of these horses great for those looking to jumpstart getting into breeding or for those trying to make money with breeding. But let me explain. I'll assume I don't have to explain what horse breeding is. So, a few bonuses for the breeding is the chance for the Imperial Steed, which sells for a lot of money, gives a noble stature box full of T10 awakening mats worth up to 700 mil, the Lumaloft pieces needed for the lamp, that keeps your forest path wagon parts repaired as you ride, and breeding 2 Corsairs has a higher chance for the fowl to spawn with an extra skill for those easier Corsair selling or dream awakening attempts. As you can see, there's a ton of benefits to breeding horses together, so let me show you how to get started. Before you start breeding, you'll first need a few things. Stable slots are important for breeding, with needing 2 slots for parents and 1 more for the fowl. I suggest taking places like Duvenkroon, Heidel, or Calpheon since they're close to the wild horses and are connected to the horse markets, and breeding unlike Glish that only has the +4 stables and you can't breed. Next is the mastery gear. When it comes to breeding, mastery is important with it increasing the chances of getting the higher tier horse. I would avoid wearing the silver embroidered, fine, or regular trainer clothes since these are more focused on horse leveling their skills, and capturing the horses. Just stick to whatever you can afford to buy or tap. This does apply to the crystal presets, artifacts, and lightstone combinations too. The more mastery you have, the higher the chances of you getting a more valuable horse. So I recommend using the full mastery crystal preset and 2 mastery artifacts. A good combination to take a look at is the Grand Prix Glory lightstone combination for the added +30 training mastery if you're still trying to reach higher mastery brackets, but this can be a little expensive. Finally, we need the horses. While any level horse can be bred, there's 2 ways we can go about getting the horses needed for breeding, with the first one being just grabbing any wild horse and breeding them right out of the gate. The other way is to choose to level up the horses all the way up to max level and then breed them. I've posted a guide on a training routine perfect for this if you want to check that out. I'll leave a link down in the description below. We have one more important aspect we have to take a look at before we can start our horse breeding. Originally, one of the most important things we would need for horse breeding is a breeding calculator, but with the introduction of the horse details, we can now load up that very calculator needed in-game while also using the horses we have in the stables. The horse info tab displays the selected horse stats and the chances of learning the skills for those trying to get the Corsairs or just learn certain skills. The growth tab here shows the rates in which each skill has a chance of leveling, which can be changed by setting the mount level, training level, mount brands, and mount gear options to tailor it to your current horse and your leveling situation. The most important tab here is going to be the breeding and exchanging tab. In here, we can choose our horses we want to check the chances of fowl they'll spawn. Here at the right, mastery can be adjusted to change the probabilities, and the mount levels can also be changed here, which changes the chances even further. The best advice I can give here for the newer players is to just adjust the mastery and mount levels to see at what point does the T6 horse get removed from the breeding table. For example, at 2200 training mastery, I would need to level each horse to level 22 to ensure only the T7, 8, and Imperial steeds are spawned, not the lower T6. Oh, and before I forget, mastery comes into play before you start breeding, not collecting the horse. So make sure you buff up before to increase your odds, or make sure your alt that you're choosing to start breeding has higher mastery. Now, you should be ready to start breeding, so in order to do that, we'll head to any major city stables that has the horses. The smaller towns like Glitch mentioned already won't let you breed, only store the horses, so be careful before you send any to the stables that can't be used. Once in the stable, we have two options we have to look at so you don't get confused. Much like selling, the horse market, and the Imperial delivery, with getting the new fowls, we can choose exchanging or breeding. Exchanging has the same rates as breeding, but unlike breeding, we will lose both parents just to get the new fowl. So for this guide, we will be focusing on just the breeding. Hitting the breeding market option in the stables shows a list of other players' male horses that we can choose to breed our own females with at a set price, and you can see what skills and level their horses are. Our own registrations is where we can see our males that we have registered on both the market and for our eyes only. And lastly, the horse list here is where we'll see all the horses we can breed at a smaller price. It's easier and cheaper to use your own horses to breed instead of other players. In order to register the horses that can be bred, this has to be done outside of the breeding market. By selecting the male horse and selecting the register at breeding, you can choose to either register the horse at the public market for breeding or show only for you so you can breed your females that you own. Once a male is selected, you can now head back into the breeding market, hit my list, and choose which male you want to breed. Once you choose, you can select which female out of the list of all the females you have in the stables, not any other stables. Horses must have full stamina in order to breed, including the registrations. After the horse breeding is complete, males can be collected from the breeding market, while females have the option to collect when selected. This is where all of the RNG comes in. While each fowl comes at level 1, we can only see the tier after it's been named and accepted. Not to mention, remember those horse details? This is where we have a chance of proccing those extra Imperial steeds if you're lucky. This will be an extra horse, so you can name both horses and accept them. While there's a whole horse breeding community out there that is able to show you how to min-max your horses using the training coupons or the breeding resets, this is just to help you dip your toes into breeding to see if there's something for you or if you should stick to trading and selling those wild horses. While I've been going out and enjoying this new training update, I know a lot of players are a little upset with the nerf, but for those who are trying to get their Lumaloft lamp, training and breeding might play into it a lot more than just, say, going out and selling those wild horses. Let me know how you guys feel about the nerf that's coming right after they updated, how you think it's going to affect training, and if you guys see it as a plus or a downside with your own training. I personally feel like that it's going to be a huge plus for those that are going out there and just enjoying training, but it's going to be a huge downside for those who are looking for a quick buck. If you guys did enjoy this, be sure to leave a like, and remember, if you guys want to check out more Black Desert life skilling content, be sure to check out the channel for more, subscribe, turn on all those notifications so you don't miss out when I come out with another Black Desert guide. And I'm going to head back out there to continue filling up my stables before this nerf comes out. And if you guys are watching this after the nerf, I guess I'm still out there breeding and trying to get my lamp. Keep horse snapping out there, everyone.